GST, HST, PST, RST, QST. Which one should you charge your customers? Let's find out. Welcome back everyone, my name is Ali, and in this video I'm going to share with you different type of sales taxes here in Canada and when you should start collecting from your customers. As you might know, every province has its own method of calculating sales taxes. The three main sales taxes here in Canada are GST, HST and PST. Although we have RST, which is for Manitoba, and QST, which is for Quebec, but in this video we'll focus on the first three ones. Now, GST stands for Goods and Services Tax, and it's Canada's federal sales tax. Based on the province that your business is registered, it can show up in two different ways. It can be a separate 5% tax, or it can be HST, or Harmonized Sales Tax, which is a combination of GST and PST. If you're running your businesses in Ontario, Nova Scotia, and these provinces over here, you have to use HST sales tax, which is GST plus PST, which is somewhere between 13 to 15%. On the other hand, PST is a province-based sales tax that you collect separately from the GST. For example, here where I live in British Columbia or in Saskatchewan, we collect PST, which is 7%, and GST, which is 5% separately. As you can see on this chart over here, sales tax rates are different from province to province. For example, in Alberta, you should collect only 5% GST. In Ontario, you should collect 13% HST. In Quebec, it's a 9.97% QST and 5% GST separately. I'll leave a link to the CR's website in the description so you can check it out and see your exact numbers. Now that you have a general understanding of the terms and rates, the question would be when you should start collecting. This is something that I want to spend a little bit on because I made a mistake and it costed me a few $1,000s, but now I'm sharing my experience with you so you can use it as well. About GST, if you're a small business owner, which means your gross sales was less than $30,000, you don't have to collect. But once you surpass that threshold, you should sign up with CRA or your provincial government and get a GST number, which is a 9-digit number plus RT0001. So I made a mistake of not collecting sales taxes because I thought $30,000 threshold is based on the fiscal year from January to December, but I was wrong. The right thing is 12 continuous months, which means if your gross sales is $20,000 from January to December, but let's say next year you start selling a lot of units and now your gross sales is more than $30,000 from May 20 to May 2021, you should start collecting 5% GST. My second mistake was I thought PST's threshold is same as GST, but it's not, it's different. For example, here in British Columbia, once you surpass only $10,000 in gross sales, you have to start collecting 7% PST. I just want to make sure that you guys don't make the same mistake I made, so I want to clarify that your gross sales is different from your net sales. It's before deducting your expenses. So if you are an Amazon seller and you just received $10,000 in your bank account, I would suggest to go to your payment reports and check your gross sales, which is probably more than $30,000 if you have received $10,000 in your bank account, because the money you receive in your bank account is after Amazon deducts its expenses like sales commission, pay-per-click advertising, and so on. Before I get into the next topic, which is how to collect and remit your sales tax to the CRA, I want you to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So now I'm going to share with you the step-by-step process of how to start collecting and remitting your sales tax. Now, the first step is obviously to make sure if you're required to collect or not. If you just got started and you're a small business owner, you don't have to charge your customers or collect anything. But once you surpass that threshold that I already mentioned, you have to start collecting. The next thing that you have to know is some products or supplies are exempt from taxes or are taxable at 0%. For example, some goods that are considered essentials like basic groceries or even Even the rent you pay for your home is exempt from sales tax. Some other things like prescription drugs and some medical devices fall into this exemption category as well. So I hope your business goes under this exemption categories, but if it doesn't, you should continue to the next step, which is to start billing your customers based on their location. It's important to know that the sales tax rates are based on the province your customers are located in, not where your business is. If you and your customers are in the same province, this will be probably the easiest situation. Just you have to check out the tax rate of your province and add it to the invoice you give to your customers. Or if you're an Amazon seller or you sell online, simply go to your tax setting, enter your GST account number, and Amazon automatically collects them for you. For example, if your business is in Ontario but your client is located in British Columbia, you need to apply British Columbia's tax rate to the invoice, which is 7% PST and 5% GST. The good news is that you don't have to collect sales tax from your customers that are outside of Canada. For example, if you're selling your product to your customer whose address is in US or anywhere outside of Canada, according to the law, you don't have to charge them any sales tax. So once you collected all of your sales taxes, the next step is to remit them to the CRA. I personally set aside all of the sales taxes that I've collected in a separate bank account, but some entrepreneurs spend those taxes they've collected and struggle to pay it back when it's the tax return time. So to remit each type of tax, obviously you have to have a GST or HST account, and the good news is the process of registering for sales tax account for GST is same as HST, but for your PST you should register with your provincial government, which is a different process. So after you register and you get your account number, you have the option to remit those taxes once a year, monthly, or quarterly. Depends on your return, and you can do it yourself online. So if you're running your business in BC, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, or Quebec, you'll need to register with your provincial government as well as GST. So I highly recommend doing your own research on your province tax rules. Obviously, this video was all based on my personal experience and it doesn't include any legal advice. So if you're a beginner, I highly recommend taking your time and talk with your accountant. So make sure you watch one of these videos over here that I recently posted. As I explained earlier in this video, there are tons of tips and tricks that you don't want to miss, so make sure you click on one of them right now. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.